Okay, guys, this is my review of UFC 127, BJ Penn versus Jon Fitch. Let's first start off with Kyle Noke and Chris Kamazati. It was a fast fight. I mean, Kyle Noke won. He caught him with a submission and did a rear naked choke, got his back, and it ends in the first round in a minute and 35 seconds. So there's really not too much that went on. It just went, stand up a little bit, then went to the ground, and Kyle Noke finished it with a rear naked choke. So he wins that one. Next match we had was Chris Lighty versus Brian Ebersol. This was an interesting match because Ebersol he has this really unorthodox type of fighting style. He's doing like, I think what cartwheel kicks and somersault kicks or whatever he's doing, rolling on the ground. He's got an arrow pointing up to his face, and he's just a really kind of weird guy. I mean, his style tactic is really weird, and it kind of threw Chris Lighty off. I mean, it's just Lido off. I mean, it's just it threw him completely off, and he got beat up for all 3 rounds basically. Just got beat up on the ground, and then in the second round he got caught with that high knee that Brian came in and threw that high knee when Chris was against the cage, and just caught him. But he couldn't finish it off. I think he wrapped a darce around his neck, and he really couldn't finish Chris off because his back was up against the cage. So he wins by unanimous decision. I can't wait to kind of see where this guy is. What really I think got this guy over beating Chris is that Chris Lido was because of his experience. I think the guy's got like 60 fights underneath his belt. I mean, I think he's won 11 out of his last 12. I mean, he's a very experienced guy. He was very relaxed going into, even though this was his big shot. And just can't wait to see what he's got left. Then we have George Saparopoulos versus Dennis Seaver. This one I thought George was going to, try to avoid standing up with Seaver, but he did the opposite. He really tried to show off his boxing, and he really paid the price for it. He ends up getting, caught with a couple of good punches and getting kicked in the leg and whatnot, and to the point to where, he was dazed. And then and then obviously the striker knows what you're going to do. You're going to go for the takedown. So you're really telegraphing yourself when you do that. When you go in and you get hit, and then all of a sudden you go walking zombie trying to grab a leg, so you can get yourself back and try to crawl up the guy's leg and do a submission on him. He knows you're going to do that. And Dennis Seaver, he really showed his takedown defense. He really, really kept George off of him. I mean, I did not really expect that from Dennis Seaver. I mean, I really thought that he was going to, be able to get caught in George's takedowns, and George pretty much, be able to get him on the ground with ease. But I was wrong about that, and Dennis Seaver comes in and catches George with a couple of rights and his striking and whatnot, and he wins by unanimous decision. And George gets his first loss. There you go. So we'll see what's next for George, and we'll definitely see what's next for Seaver as he moves up the lightweight division. And we'll see how this turns out. Then we have, which I was very interested in this fight, probably because of the hype that was behind it, was the Michael Bisping and the Jorge Rivera fight. I mean, Jorge went in there, doing all these YouTube videos and whatnot, which I really didn't understand. I thought it was kind of really, I just really didn't, it wasn't funny to me, but, whatever. I guess it really got under Bisping's skin to an extent, and he went in there and beat the brakes off of him. I mean, he just went in there and boxed him to death, took him down at will. He did catch Jorge with an illegal knee in the first round, but he still won the round, so it was 9-9 pretty much. And but he just was dominating Jorge just with ease with his boxing, and he was just doing all types of stuff. I mean, he was going in there, just jabbing him, landing the left. Then he would throw elbows, then he would throw a knee, then he would throw a right elbow, left knee. He was just mixing it up so well. And Jorge got tired and, turtled up in the corner and pretty much got knocked out. And then at the very end, Bisbee, was running towards him, basically telling him, hey, I want you to apologize. I want you to apologize for what you did, for what you were talking about. Jorge was like, hey, man, I was just trying to hype the fight up pretty much, but Bisbee wasn't hearing it. And he said something else. I don't know what he said, but he said something else that made Jorge kind of snap back out of the, I was just hyping the fight. He got pretty upset about something. And then eventually Michael Bisping ended up apologizing, saying that he was just in the moment of winning the fight. So Michael Bisping wins that fight by TKO in the second round. And we'll see what happens with Michael Bisping. And, Jorge Rivera pretty much gets back in the mix, and we'll see what goes on with him. But I love Michael Bisping's boxing, man. It was excellent. It was probably the best boxing of the night. Well, it was the best boxing of the night. I mean, his boxing was excellent. I just love to see striking like that, especially when it comes to boxing. So let's move on to the main event: BJ Penn versus Jon Fitch. I thought BJ was going to go in there and win and pretty much box him to death, but he goes right in there and goes straight for the takedown, which threw me for a loop, and obviously threw Jon Fitch for a loop too, because he didn't train at all for wrestling defense or for wrestling defense or anything. He just thought it was going to be a boxing match, and he was wrong. I mean, it's just amazing that the smaller guy, being BJ Penn, was able to take down the bigger guy, which is Jon Fitch, and with relatively ease. And first round he pretty much got him on the ground eventually, wrapped his legs around, got a body triangle, almost trying to get pretty much hovered his back. Jon Fitch reversed it, but he pretty much it was a ground fight, and BJ won. Second round, it was kind of like a mix, but the same thing pretty much happened. He got him on the ground, got his back. Fitch reversed it. BJ stands up. It was pretty much the same thing, but with some variation of BJ still winning. You could argue that he lost the second round, but it could go either way, basically. The first round, you knew BJ won. The second round, you knew it could be a toss-up between Jon Fitch or BJ Penn. You really didn't know. But then the third round came, and BJ just got destroyed. He just got, it was a clinic. It was, it was straight what Jon Fitch does all the time, which is get you against the cage, get you on the ground, and ground and pound you to the max. And it's not even hard ground and pound. It's like tap, 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 tap. I really don't care to hurt you. I really don't care to hurt you. All I care about is the points and to win this match. I really don't care. It wasn't really any oomph in it, And I don't know why he doesn't do it, because he has people in such good position to where he can go in for the kill, but he just like taps you to death. And yes, the taps will swell your face up a little bit and do all this other stuff, but it really doesn't. It won't knock anyone out. And so, I didn't really know where the match stood, and then the decision came, and it was a draw. So, what are these guys going to do? I don't know. I'm going to watch the post-conference, and Dana probably will go ahead and say they'll either do a rematch or they'll go their separate ways or whatever it may be. But if I was Dana, I don't know if I would do a rematch. I think I would put somebody else up against BJ for maybe a more exciting fight and put Jon Fitch in a backburner against Koscheck or something like that. And do, but I don't think I would do a BJ Penn, Jon Fitch. Their styles just don't make an exciting fight, even though we kind of knew that before. but it just becomes a too technical fight, which I love. I truly love, and I truly love this match. But I don't know if every fan can appreciate the technical, how technical their fight was, and how technical it can be. And I just don't know if I would really be excited to see PJ go against Finch again. And I don't know if Finch is either. I don't think he is. The way he sounded at the very end, he kind of sounded like, well, if they really want to put me against him again, then I'll do it. But I really don't want to. I really want to fight GSP. That's all I care about. And, neither guy was happy. So how was UFC 127? It was pretty good. It wasn't like, super the best UFC I've ever seen, but it was decent. It was something to watch. I enjoyed my Saturday night watching my MMA. So, guys, if you like my review, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time when I do predictions for UFC 128. I'm sorry, no, it won't be a UFC 28. I think I'm going to do the predictions for the fight night. Then it'll be predictions for UFC 128. So see you guys next time, and peace.